Well, the federal government says it's cracking down on gun smuggling into Mexico right here in southern Arizona. This morning, a group of federal officials from CBP, the FBI, ATF, and the HSI are there, along with the U.S. Attorney's Office. They held a joint news conference in Nogales at the Mariposa Port of Entry. That's where we find News 4 Tucson's chief investigative reporter, Corus Nylander, with the very latest on the situation here. Corus, what's going on?
Yeah, well, Robbie, the message from this collective group of federal law enforcement officials is simple. If you help arm the cartels, which have now been designated foreign terrorist organizations, expect to pay a heavy price. I mean, just take a look at the heavy weaponry that was recently seized by CBP and ATF. Just on one table is over 40 AK-47s and loads of ammunition that were seized in just a single incident. They also had many handguns and other rifles, including 50 caliber rifles on display they seized in other operations. According to the ATF, just this week they've seized more than 11,000 firearms headed for Mexico along the southern border. They say each of these guns represents the possible loss of countless lives. These guns likely would have been used to attack Mexican police and military, rival cartels, and innocent civilians. Cutting the supply of weapons, they say, also helps our efforts here in the United States to stop the flow of deadly drugs like fentanyl, as well as human smuggling, because a better armed cartel all plays into their success with those other vices.
If they control a certain area, then they control those lanes going through the borders, right? And so they can get their narcotics up easier, they can get the human smuggling up easier. And so they use these firearms to control that. And then when the government of Mexico is trying to crack down on their illegal activities, I mean, look at this. You know, they're up against an army, basically.
And our government's mission doesn't stop just there catching the smugglers. They also want to trace the source of these firearms, where they're coming from, which often is through straw purchases and other illicit means. We'll have more on how they do that coming up tonight at 4 o'clock. We're live from Nogales. Corus Nylander, News 4 Tucson.